In an exclusive interview with Sky Sports News HQ, Dave King describes Rangers as broken, but tells us why he is the man to fix the club if he finally takes control tomorrow. We start with our exclusive interview with the man who is preparing to take control of Rangers. Dave King has been an elusive figure, but today he told me that he's excited and a little daunted about the prospect of being given a mandate to run the club. It goes to the vote tomorrow, and he says he hopes to bring transparency and accountability to Ibrox. Let's hear from him now.
I'm very excited that for the first time in the last couple of years, I think everyone who's been followed this saga will know that I've made numerous attempts to try and get in a position where we could get the right structure in the board, get the right people in the board to take the club forward. I think from the fans' point of view, we've had some really, really tough years. I think there was a lack of direction. And one of the things I've tried to fight against was the noise level. You know, if I look at a lot of the stuff that's happened over the years, if I look at even last night with WH Ireland, probably about 95% of the stresses and strains that the fans have gone through and stuff they've read in the media and the newspapers is what I call noise level. It's always been irrelevant. The main thing and the main game plan that I've stayed focused on was to try and get regime change and try and install on the Rangers board some like-minded individuals who know what the club is about, who know what the history is about, and they can give the fans hope that we will take the club forward into something that they will recognise more as the real Rangers as opposed to what we've seen over the last couple of years. And I feel we're at that point now. It's been a long road, and I'm asking the fans to remain calm, to remain steady, because after tomorrow we will actually finally have a direction. It will be a long road, but as long as we travel that road together, and I guarantee the fans absolute transparency and accountability. And if there's one thing that's been missing in Rangers over the last couple of years, I believe it's not just the ethos and the level of respect, but I think transparency and accountability has been completely absent. It is my belief if it wasn't for the fans voting with their feet and starting to boycott games, I don't think we'd be at the point that we are today. So I think the fans deserve a huge amount of credit for their contribution to what I'm hoping is a very new, exciting way forward for the club.
So King talks about forging ahead in a new era for Rangers, and there is plenty to do. Shares in the club remain suspended, and they must appoint a new nominated advisor, or nomad, inside 30 days, or risk being removed from the stock exchange. Tomorrow, it's EGM at Ibrox, which is likely to see King take charge. And he's planning immediate boardroom change, starting with the removal of Derek Lymbaeus and Barry Leach.
Well, Derek Lymbaeus and Barry, they'll certainly be removed as directors tomorrow. They will still have the executive responsibilities, which we've got to separate from that. And I think that's a discussion that we'll have another time.
Are you ready for this challenge?
I'm ready. I think that it's something I've been working on for a couple of years. And it is a little bit daunting to now think of what we have to do, because the one thing that is clear to me, if I look at the club from now, say versus last year when I tried to get in the club, I think the club is broken. It's not just the team, it's not just I think the stadium, the infrastructure, the whole value system within the club has disappeared. And that's why I think it really is absolutely critical that we hit the ground running. So after tomorrow, we've really got to go and kickstart the thing and inject a bit of energy. A lot of the institutional shareholders have seen the wisdom of trying to get the club going forward, I think, in the way that we're suggesting. And also there's been absolutely immense rallying of the fans. I mean, it's been an absolute humbling, I mean, I say genuinely humbling experience for me to see how the fans have dug into their own pockets and they've started acquiring shares in the marketplace. And for me to get the vote of 90% of, I think, about 12,000 fans really it's a great thrill for me to know that I won't be walking this road alone.
So it now comes down to a key day at Ibrox tomorrow, and King has asked that everyone who attends keeps their emotions in check. Mike Ashley remains a key player in the power struggle. His company, Sports Direct, have made a number of loans to Rangers in recent months and could call them in. King has sought talks with Ashley, but has so far failed, but he expects to be negotiating soon.
I certainly envisage him with Sports Direct. You know, I think Ashley's position as a shareholder, I've tried to speak to him before. He's refused. There's no reason why he shouldn't engage with me if he doesn't want to. But certainly I think Sports Direct, I think there's a lot of discussions I expect to happen once we look at the Sports Direct contracts, understand what's going on behind them, and I'd be very, very surprised if there wasn't some level of negotiation.
You want calmness and dignity tomorrow, don't you?
Absolutely, and I think the Rangers fans have had a difficult time. I think emotions have run high, but really at this point I'm really calling for calmness. I think let's just get this meeting behind us and let's go ahead and start doing what we think is right and start creating a Rangers that we all start to recognise as the club that we have always supported for all these years.
So Dave King there, very politely opening up a bit more today. But questions remain about the next nominated advisor and how things will be financed. Now, it's our understanding that King will have to invest a significant amount of his own money to take things forward. He's still the subject of due diligence checks from regulators. But whatever happens, the SFA are hopeful that Rangers are now entering a period of calm after so much turbulence.
We're partway through a process which involves a meeting tomorrow. We're talking about a PLC and matters affecting a PLC, so I don't think it's appropriate for me to comment on those kind of corporate affairs. In the event that there are changes tomorrow, it would be up to the club to make representations to the Scottish FA, and we'll deal with it as and when that happens. For Rangers fans in particular, and for all of those who are watching what's gone on over the last 3 years, I think it's important that there's stability and harmony, and that whoever leads Rangers can actually get on with doing that and trying to get the club back into some kind of positive shape again.
Well, what a dramatic day it promises to be at Ibrox Stadium in Glasgow tomorrow. We'll be live from 6 a.m. in the morning with coverage and updates from the EGM right here on Sky Sports News HQ.